Hey guys, it's DJ. Welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here, welcome. In every assessment that I give somebody in like a one-on-one, like kind of a consultation assessment of your audio, one, my opinion is my opinion. You can ask 100 different casting directors and they'll all have different takes on your take. Secondly, if you can tell me what your story was and it fits to the story, your pre-life, then my assessment doesn't matter. As long as there's a clear pre-life. Okay, I don't want to sit here and say my word is the final word because I'm just DJ Dykes, voice actor. I'm not, God or, some omnipotent being who has all of the knowledge. I'm just going to always be frank with you with my opinion, and I don't like to sugarcoat stuff. Anybody who's coached with me or who's had, yeah, you guys know, I don't sugarcoat my words. I will tell you straight up if it was great or not, or if it was shit. And this is not shit. It's actually a very good take. I'm not going to name the names of the people that sent this. They know who they are. But I will try to be as objective as possible and just, did you tell the story? That's what I'm looking for. In every audition or demo, are you telling the story that needs to be told? And do I hear a clear point of view? So let's take a look here. First things first, I'm looking at the audition. It looks good. It looks clean. There's no breaths or anything in here. One thing I do notice is this peak here. And he did normalize it to -3 dB, which is what you want to do. But I don't recommend using compressors. Some people say use a compressor 2-to-1 ratio, but I honestly don't use any compression on my commercial auditions. Instead, if I have a peak like this, I will come in here and I will manually reduce it like this to make it match the surrounding peaks. And I can see that it's still a bit long here. And so I'm going to reduce that even more. This technical stuff here, this is the stuff that agents pay attention to when you actually get signed by an agent. They're looking at this all the time. I can't tell you the number of times that agents have called into a Zoom call and complained about talent not handling things like peaks and breaths and mouth sounds and dead space at the beginning. Like, that's a lot of dead space there. What's that, 5.5 seconds? Many agents, they want to be able to press play and they want to hear the demo immediately. You got to remember, there's like 100 auditions or more. They don't have time for even the half second of dead space, okay? So just get rid of dead space at the beginning. And then at the end as well, get rid of any dead space. Like that. Clean it up, keep it nice. This seems a bit long. Is that 46 seconds? I'm curious if this is a commercial. It probably should be under 30, but I'm not going to say anything about that because I don't have the specs in front of me to know if it's a 30 or not. And I'm just going to reduce this peak one more time here. All right, so now that I've normalized it to -3, let's take a listen to it.
From the deepest devotions to the peaks of the highest mountains, Rolex has accompanied explorers and achievers, standing resilient against the elements. Every detail, from the oyster case to the perpetual movement, reflects a commitment to perfection, not just a symbol of success, but a companion in the journey towards it. Worn by those who define greatness, a Rolex is a reminder that time is not just measured. It's made from the...
First things first, I mean, love your voice, man. You have a really, really nice sound. And again, voiceover is never really about the sound, but we can complement each other on our voices. You have a good voice. Very resonant, nice rich baritone sound. And audio quality is very good. I'm not sure what kind of mic you're using, but it sounds pretty good. Now, as far as the story goes, first thing I noticed off the top, I didn't hear a clear point of view. You can hear a point of view. A point of view is essentially what is the story that you've built for yourself? And what happened before that made you say what you said? What is the pre-life, right? What was the, who are you talking to? Where are you? And what is the conflict or what happened to make you say this very first line? And I want you guys to really listen and think if it sounds like something happened before he said his very first line or not. Take a listen.
From the deepest devotions to the peaks of the highest mountains.
It doesn't sound like anything happened before. It doesn't sound like a response to something. Something has to always happen before. And you'll know if a pre-life has been set because that first line just feels different.
From the deepest devotions.
I'm trying to imagine a situation where I would say, From the deepest devotions. If you're watching this video and you feel brave enough to leave a comment, let us know in the comments, did you have a pre-life for this? Who are you talking to? Where were you? And why are you saying what you're saying?
From the deepest devotions to the peaks of the highest mountains.
Yeah, even that one right there, so I would try to reduce the dynamic range that you're showing in your voice, at least for one take. I would reduce the range. And this was something that Donovan Cornelius, my promo coach, and Richard Redfield, my trailer coach, really drove home, because in those genres, your dynamic range, if you're saying from the deepest peaks to the highest oceans, like that, whoop, that range, that's called a dynamic range, you want to squish it down. And so you're almost like you're compressing your own voice in a way. I'm not saying that this take is terrible. I just feel like there's two takes mixed into one. You could have a take one that is very grounded. Your muscles in your face are just like relaxed. You're not affecting any emotion in here. And it's just
from the deepest devotion.
From the deepest devotions.
To the peaks of
the highest mountain.
The highest mountains.
And I'm not acting here. I'm just trying to show you the range. I'm not like, I don't even have a pre-life for myself. So, but that difference there.
Rolex.
It's Rolex. Rolex. You can lift it with the airiness. Rolex instead of Rolex. Let me know in the comments if you guys agree with my assessment here.
Accompanied explorers.
Has accompanied explorers. I don't know. Has accompanied explorers. Again, the dynamic range is too big.
Achievers. Standing resilient.
I love that line.
Standing resilient.
I love that slight at the end. Standing resilient. Like that soft at the end. It's a very nice touch to me.
Against the elements. Every detail.
That was good.
From the oyster case.
Yeah. Oyster case is luxury. Right? That's literally, it's luxury. I'm of the mind that luxury never goes, like it doesn't do that. From the oyster case. From the oyster case. From the oyster case. Not from the oyster case. You know what I'm saying?
From the oyster case.
From the oyster case. From the oyster case.
To the perpetual movement.
I love that one. Perpetual movement.
Reflects a commitment to perfection.
Yeah. This isn't terribly bad. Reflects. I don't like the up, but let's just stick with it for a second. Slow it down.
Reflects a commitment.
A commitment. Reflects a commitment. Like you want that to, it's a promise, right? A commitment is a promise. You don't want to gloss over that. You know, these two things, the case and this, reflects a commitment. A commitment.
Reflects a commitment to perfection.
Reflects a commitment to perfection. Reflects a commitment to perfection. Reflects a commitment to perfection. I would just add a bit more there.
Not just a symbol of success.
Not just a I feel like you kind of threw that line away a little bit.
Not just a symbol of success.
There's a bit of a what's the word I want to use? Like kind of a braggish sound to it, which isn't bad.
Not just a symbol of success.
I don't know.
But a companion.
Yeah. Let me know what you guys think. I'm not going to make a judgment on these two together because I can kind of hear a story there. I just don't know if it's the story I chose. But again, it's not my audition. So I can't say that it's bad. It's just a matter of personal taste. So I don't have any feedback on those two.
In the journey towards it. Companion. But a companion. In the journey towards it. But a companion. In the journey towards it.
All right, so what I'm hearing is, again, we talked about the range. What I'm hearing is a kind of a bounce. Which makes it feel a bit, it pulls away from the poignant, I can't think of the word. It loses its weight, its gravitas, like its power. Every time you bring that, it's like I'm serious, but let me just bring it back. No, I'm serious again. I'm gonna bring it back. I'm serious again. I would limit the number of times you do that to a select few. I mean, this might be one.
But a companion.
But a companion. But a companion. But a companion. That would be a place. But I feel like it's a constant like up and down until now.
Worn by those who define greatness.
Worn by those who define greatness. Let's play the imagery game. If we're thinking of explorers, travelers, and if that isn't imagery that comes to you readily, you can switch it with any form of greatness. It could be the athlete. It could be a humanitarian people. It could anybody you think is great. What's your definition of greatness? But the imagery has to be clear. And if it is clear,
worn by those who define greatness.
Worn by those who define greatness. Who define greatness. Who define greatness. Worn by those who define greatness. Worn by those who define greatness. Yeah, I feel like that can be stretched just a bit.
A Rolex is a reminder.
A Rolex. But the very first time the name came out, it was like,
Rolex.
Rolex. That Rolex right there.
Rolex.
Sounds like it could be said in an internal video for employees at Rolex. Like, hey guys, welcome to your first day at Rolex. At Rolex, we do this. It feels like that. It's just too.
A Rolex.
A Rolex. A Rolex.
Is a reminder.
It's good.
That time is not just measured.
The time is not just measured.
Time is not just measured. It's made, not just measured.
It was almost there. It was almost there. I personally
just measured.
Time is not just measured. It's made. What I'm hearing is the where is not clear. Not necessarily that something didn't happen before. I don't know for sure. But what I'm hearing is the where is not clear. Where are you? The where matters. Let's just imagine you're on a yacht. All right. You're on a private yacht and you're at dinner with this beautiful woman and, you're taking her out and you've got this luxurious lifestyle and, you've worked hard in your career. Maybe you're an investment banker. I don't know. And, you're wearing your suit. You don't even have ties, just unbuttoned, but you have the blazer or the jacket on and you're sitting there. It's like a charcoal gray suit and you're sitting at this table in this yacht and you hear the waves in the ocean and stuff crashing into the side of the boat. The woman is beautiful. She's got jewelry on, maybe long brunette hair, tan skin, thin frame. And you guys aren't even sitting across from each other. You're sitting almost like one here, one here. So one person at 9 o'clock, one person at 6 o'clock. And you guys are sitting there. And the whole thing is just luxurious. The lights are golden glow, not too bright, just very low. Maybe even some music playing in the background. And you know what? You're not even on this yacht by yourself. You're with a group of people. And, it's not a big group, maybe like 3 parties. And you two are one of the parties. So it's a very private affair in a way. And you're looking at this woman and you're like, I've worked hard to get here. I haven't put my time into banking and I went to school and I'm finally reaping the rewards of my efforts. And you lean towards each other and stuff, and she's holding her glass, and you're looking at her, and you're like, "This is what it's all about." The ocean, the waves, grab her jewelry, the beauty. Rolex represents everything that I've worked for, and it's something that can't be taught. This was worn by adventurers for companionship, and at the end of the day. At the end of this night, that's all that matters. Rolex. Something like that. If I build a clear pre-life, whether you like that take or not, I could feel the story that I was trying to tell. Now, I didn't have what happened before. I would add that later, but I'm trying to focus on the where. Overall, I think that it shows me that if you were to be directed, you could give 2 distinctly better takes. One that shows less dynamic range and is really drawn in, really intimate with the microphone. Rolex versus Rolex. I'm never going to say this is what it has to be. You can come up with 100 pre-lives and each pre-life is going to give you a different story. I'm always about what story are you telling?